Hello, race fans. Welcome back to the USF Pro TV studio. We're going to cap off our preseason shows with one driver. Evagoras Papasavvas will be joining us here. We're only a week away from spring training at NOLA Motorsports Park, a couple of weeks away from starting off the 2025 season at the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Can't wait for that event, the sunshine, the crowds, and of course, as we know, one of the most challenging racetracks on the entire circuit. Looking forward to getting the season underway. The off-season has been grueling for many. It's been tough for those of us who want to get back to the racetrack and want to see these drivers back on the asphalt and back racing wheel to wheel like they do each and every year. Scholarship up for grabs, as we know. We'll be, of course, watching Lockie Hughes, our USF Pro 2000 champion from last year, working his way up to Indy next with Andretti Autosport. Can't wait to see what Lockie can do on his way to the NTT IndyCar Series. But the driver is going to join me here today. We're going to preview his 2025 season. We'll talk about the 2025 season on the whole. Now a driver for TJ Speed. Let's see if we can't dial up Evagoras Papasavvas. We'll see if Evagoras can come in here. Let's get him dialed in. We have him. Evagoras, how are you, my friend?
What's up, Rob? How's it going?
It's going good. We're close to NOLA Motorsports Park. We're close to spring training. All this off-season testing has been great. I haven't been there, number one, so I haven't been able to see you guys behind the wheel. It's time to go racing again. How excited are you? Let's just talk about that first. How excited are you to get back behind the wheel finally to get the season underway?
Yeah, I'm really excited to get going, especially this year. A little bit more than others because of the new opportunities and the new circumstances for 2025. With TJ Speed and HMD now, and then also moving up a level to USF Pro 2000, the highest level in the USF Pro Championship. So I'm really excited to be competing at this level now, and really excited to get on the track and do some hard racing.
Before we dive into what you're going to do with TJ Speed in 2025, I kind of want to go back a little bit the last couple of years. You've been a race winner in USF 2000 both years. You've challenged for the title both years. A fantastic start to the season last year with a run of podium finishes. When you look back at the last couple of years, you're pretty proud of how you've developed and where you've put yourself in terms of being one of the top drivers on the ladder system?
Yeah, I think I'm really proud of, where I came from when I first started in USF 2000 to where I am now. I made a lot of progress developing my skills as a driver in USF 2000. And I think, looking back at it, even though I didn't win the championship, and that's what I was going for, which is, disappointing, some aspect of it, but then there's also when you take a step back and you look at how much that you've grown as a person, as a driver. I just think that, I've learned so much and developed so much more and matured so much more as a driver and a person that, it just makes me even hungrier to go win a championship in USF Pro 2000.
Well, you're a race winner as well, right? You can win races, which is key. And I know that, and I'll say this to you, you are at the point right now where it's time to move up, right? Yeah, you may have been able to stay one more season, try to go after the championship and more wins in USF 2000, but you are ready. And I'm sure the minute you got behind the wheel of that USF Pro 2000 race car, you knew it was the right decision.
Yeah. I mean, when I got behind, the first time I got behind the wheel was actually at Barber Motorsports Park.
Wow.
So we don't even race there. Pro doesn't even race there, but I think that track was a very, very good track to learn the USF Pro 2000 coming from a USF 2000 because of all of the long flowing corners and how much you need to rely on the downforce. So I think that was really that track was actually, even though we don't race there, I think it was like the perfect track for me to learn the Pro 2000.
Very challenging racetrack, right? Hard braking corner into turn number 5, the flowing corners, like you said, the long duration where you have to believe in the aerodynamics of the car, right? You've been in the booth with me before. Anytime someone asks me about USF 2000 and USF Pro 2000, what the differences are, I just say more of everything, right? More tires, more braking, more horsepower, more downforce. What are your thoughts jumping out of the 2000 car, getting more of everything? What was the big thing to get used to? Was it the braking? Was it the horsepower? Or was it the downforce like you talked about?
For me, I think it was the downforce, just learning to trust the car. Because I think for the most part, you have the more horsepower, but you don't really get in the car and you feel the difference, right? You don't really feel the difference in the horsepower. You're just going faster down the straight, right? and it doesn't even affect that much in the braking. The braking is all pretty much the same, just
Okay.
getting used to the downforce, and just all the little techniques around using the downforce to your advantage and trusting it. That's really what was different, not necessarily like the power itself or anything like that.
Talked about the fact that we're almost ready to go to NOLA for spring training. Your big move, of course, was a couple of years with Jay Howard Driver Development. You come over to TJ Speed this year. You mentioned the fact that they're now with HMD Motorsports, working out of their shop. So that's great for Tim Neff and the crew there. How's the transition been? Because it's always different. And I tell a lot of parents this. Every team's got a different culture, right? There's a different feel, the way they approach things, their systems. How's the transition been for you working with Tim and the crew at TJ Speed?
Yeah, I mean, I really like. I think I'm pretty comfortable. I think I'm flowing in pretty nicely with TJ Speed. I really like the guys that work there. They're all very focused and very determined, and that's something that I found right away. So that's what I really like. So I mean, yeah, I feel because I've worked with some of the people
Okay.
at TJ Speed already in the past. Whether it was, in previous USF 2000 seasons or even in karting. I've worked with some of these TJ Speed engineers and mechanics already. So I already had a building a foundation to build on. So yeah, I mean, I think that just allowed for a very smooth and comfortable transition into the whole HMD and TJ Speed operation.
What I think is really interesting is a number of drivers have moved up and out of the USF Pro 2000 program, right? Following with Lockie Hughes into the Indy Next series or onto another program. It seems like it's kind of wide open potentially for some rookies to step up and potentially go after a championship. Normally, I would say a driver like you coming in, would you be thinking my first of 2 years in USF Pro 2000, trying to get the Rookie of the Year, get some podiums? Is it a little different now when you look at the potential drivers you're going against that maybe you're a championship contender coming in?
I mean, yeah, looking at what we have so far, in terms of the driver list, the grid, a majority of it is the USF 2000 grid, or at least the drivers that I was mainly competing against are moving up to USF Pro 2000. So, I think that tells me that, like I was a championship contender in USF 2000, I'd also be a championship contender in Pro 2000. And, like the previous years in 2000, I'm going to give it my all and go win this championship.
So obviously the first race of the season comes the week after NOLA when we go to the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. You've got a couple of years in there. You got some time on that racetrack. Are you excited to get to that track and going a little bit quicker, coming down into turn number 1 to turn 4, you name it? Are you excited to get to St. Pete? And if so, give me the reasons why.
Yeah, I think and it's not just St. Pete, I'm excited to get everywhere, right? Well, with the Pro 2000
I like
to
that.
experience the same track but in a different car and just see where it differs, and just adjust and adapt comparing to the last few years. But I mean, yeah, because St. Petersburg, I always feel like just the atmosphere at that race is so different than everywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like it's just so different. It almost feels like it's a party,
Yeah.
with the other events going on outside of the track. So yeah, yeah, I'm really excited to get to St. Pete, to get to NOLA and Indianapolis and just all these tracks, even Toronto and Mid-Ohio where I won this year, or last year. But yeah, I'm really excited to just get back racing in general, experience all of these tracks in a faster car and just experience the season all over again.
I'm going to touch on Mid-Ohio in a bit. We'll get to that. But for part of my preseason research, I've been in the gym. I'm on the treadmill. I'm on the bike. I'm watching all the broadcasts, all the races from last year. Do you feel like there's some unfinished business at St. Petersburg? Because you almost came away as a race winner there. You started the season off with 5 straight second-place finishes, right? Podiums. You had such a great, consistent run, but you were this close. Do you feel like potentially there's unfinished business at St. Pete for you?
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
I definitely feel that way, especially my first year going. I was on the podium my first year in St. Pete, and then my second year also on the podium, and just being so close for so long. Honestly, Rob, I feel like I have unfinished business everywhere.
Everyone.
Even Mid-Ohio and Toronto, tracks that I've won at, I feel like there's still more to get from it.
See, that's what we want out of our drivers. We want them 100% wanting to win everywhere for sure. Mid-Ohio, though, listen, that's been a track that you have just taken to, and you are so unbelievably good at Mid-Ohio. Do you always circle that event on the schedule saying, I've won there before. This is a place I know that I'm going to be able to attack at?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely it's a big event for me, not only because, I am successful at that track, but it's my home race.
That's it.
In Ohio. So it's always going to be a big event. It's always something to look forward to. So, I mean, yeah, but definitely, looking at my past results, it will be a track that I know that I will definitely be competing for podiums and race wins.
So big step up from USF 2000 to USF Pro 2000, not only with the car itself and the speed and everything we've talked about, but also obviously the financial side of it as well. It costs a lot more money to run that next level. How have you been doing in the off season? Do we have some sponsors? Have you putting together a pretty good support group to make sure you can make this jump but with TJ Speed in 2025?
Yeah, we're making a lot of progress. Nothing is set in stone yet. So right now we have the same sponsors in RP Diamond, Airs Elite Sports Vision, Tiger Natural Gas, and Bodywise. We have the same sponsors from last year, but we're still working, we're still fighting for more sponsors always. We do have good things cooking up, so yeah, I'm excited to see what we can finally get.
I like it. Now, more of everything with that car. Have you been in the gym more? Is it a tougher car to drive? Have you had, in your mindset, has it been, man, I need to get back in the gym a little bit more because this car's tougher to drive, more on the wheel? Have you been in the gym more, or do you feel like you're pretty good for this car?
I feel like so far, with the testing that I've got at Sebring and Barber, honestly, at Sebring, I felt pretty good. I felt really good at Sebring, and considering Sebring being pretty bumpy and pretty physical, yep. I think that sets me pretty good for the street courses like Toronto and St. Petersburg. But when we were at Barber, it was my first time in the car since the season finale in Portland.
Yep.
So I think at Barber, it was really my neck at Barber. Like the rest of my body was completely fine. It was just my neck with. With that downforce that comes with the USF Pro 2000,
yep.
Just the G's and the mile per hour that you're holding throughout the corners, those long duration corners. After those 2 test days, I could definitely feel my neck was a little bit sore after that.
Well, you're wearing a Pit Fit sweater, so I just figured that you probably digging in the gym with Jim and the.
I'm definitely in the gym, definitely working at it for sure. So there's still progress to be made.
You mentioned your neck and the work you're going to do there. What about the Freedom 90 at IRP on the oval? That obviously was a big thing last year. The tires we used were super sticky. There'll be a different tire this year. It won't be quite as bad as it was for the drivers last year. Is that an event you're looking forward to as well? You've had success at the oval.
Yeah, I mean, and that's also one of the big tracks that I felt like I've had, unfinished business at, along with all of the other ones. But especially the oval, coming in 3rd and 2nd there these past 2 years. So there's only one more spot on the podium that I haven't stepped on at that track. So,
Evagoras, yeah, I love your attitude right now.
I'm really excited for this racing season, and for the oval. It's definitely going to, like, physically at the oval, the Freedom 90. It's going to be interesting for sure, because that race is always the most physical on the calendar. So it's going to be pretty physical for sure. So, I mean, I have faith in my partnership with PitFit and what we can put together. So I think once May comes around and once it's time to go racing at the Freedom 90, I think I'll be fit and ready to go.
So unfinished business at every racetrack, which I like. You want to win everywhere. You got work to do. You're trying to win a championship coming out of the gate as a rookie. Drivers have done that before. Kyle Kirkwood being one, of course. Lockie Hughes making the jump up, winning the championship as a rookie last year. So it's not unheard of that you get the job done there. You've got people behind you, good people. Sounds like you're lined up for a pretty darn good 2025 season.
Yeah. I mean, just all this work that I've been putting together these past 2-3 years. It's just, I'm gonna give it my all, have it all come down to this year. I have a lot of faith in TJ Speed and HMD and what we can put together to have a good 2025 campaign. So yeah, I'm continuing to put in the hard work. I'm ready. I'm gonna keep working and we're going to go racing soon. So.
Well, I absolutely love it. You're 1 week away from getting back in the car at NOLA Motorsports Park. Of course, next week we get rolling with spring training, right from there into the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Evagoras Papasavvas, thank you very much for joining me, buddy. I really appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you at NOLA.
Yeah, thank you. Pleasure being on.
So there you have it, folks. Evagoras Papasavvas, such a talented young driver. We watched him, of course, come through the ranks of USF 2000, race winner at Mid-Ohio and Toronto, as he had mentioned. This kid can get it done, especially when the car's right for him. TJ Speed, a fantastic team, as we know. This could be one young rookie that's going after a championship and a scholarship to move to Indy next in 2026. That wraps up these preseason shows. It's been a lot of fun here at the USF Pro TV studio. Have a chance to talk to a lot of great people. Dan Anderson, we talked to, of course, James Hinchcliffe. We went through Stingray Robb. A number of individuals got a chance to talk to. Of course, Evagoras Papasavvas here as well about what's going to happen in the 2025 season. All the talk, all the off-season testing. It's time to go official. Next week, we go to NOLA Motorsports Park for spring training. We'll see who's quick there. And it gets all started when we get to that beautiful city of St. Petersburg in Florida to start off the 2025 season. Of course, as you know, coverage all year long on the YouTube channel. Make sure you download the app if you haven't already, the USF Pro Championships app. You can watch all the shows there. My podcast is there, of course, all these shows as well on the app. Make sure to download that so you don't miss a lap of the 2025 season. On behalf of everyone from Anderson Promotions and everybody here at the studio for USF Pro TV, my name is Rob Howden. Bye for now.